Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, and Dan Marino combined. It's just wild, stupid, if you will, and I mean that in the most positive. It's all ridiculous.
Wicked.
Wicked,
ridiculous.
All right, Boston. Look, I talked to some players that are playing with Tom Brady for the first time this year, and it's a sight to behold, even for these guys who are playing with him, because he's just a machine. They say he just has a system for everything, and apparently that's what you need to do it at 43. For you, Randy, what's most impressive about what he's doing right now?
Well, Sam, before I came to the New England Patriots in 07, I was in awe of Tom Brady being able to throw the ball with accuracy. Coming there in 2007, we was able to set records. 20-plus years later, being able to change conferences, a lot of people don't realize how hard that is to do because in the AFC East, he's familiar with the Dolphins, the Bills, and the Jets. But then getting familiar to another team. But one thing that stands out to me, 20-plus years later, Rex, I've caught some of his football, Sam, his deep ball accuracy. Look at this first play, and I want y'all to look at the threes and look where this man puts the ball. 2007 against the Buffalo Bills, put it on my right side, Tom. Only I can get it. Right there, pinpoint accuracy, deep ball for Tom Brady. Well, let's fast forward to, yes, he's on the Tampa Bay Bucks. Well, I'm going to go ahead and look at my man, Mr. Scotty Miller. Look at the ball placement, Tom Brady. Let it come out the sky, Tom. Great ball placement. Only we as the pass catchers can catch the ball. Hey, and his big target over the middle, Chris Godwin. Look at the ball placement, being able to only we can get it. So you're talking about 20-plus years at the quarterback position where a lot of the quarterbacks, Sam, that you just put up on that screen, a lot of velocity was lacking from their arm talent later in their career. But 43, 20-plus years, I still see Tom Brady making those throws.
Yeah, and these things don't happen just by accident, okay? Tom Brady is known for his work ethic, and he's known for his fundamentals. He's 43 years old, year 21, week 21, on a Friday practice before your Super Bowl, you're still out at practice doing it like you're a rookie. He's got this beginner's mindset. This is a team last year that really struggled protecting the football. He's lost one fumble this entire season. Look at him, 2 hands on the ball. Again, this is Friday. Bag drill, get it up over linebackers on Friday. Some guys might be taking it easy. Dude, this is year 21. I played 22 seasons in 21 years if you count all my playoff games. Yeah. It shows up in the game film. It might be subtle. Those subtle moves in the pocket. Ball gets up and down. Not a lot of tip balls out of this guy. And Randy, you mentioned the deep ball. I mean, are you kidding me? This is the ball. This is a chaos ball drill. You're not allowed to look down at the balls. Your eyes have to be deep on the safety. Usually they say to the quarterback, never late down the middle. Well, you can throw late down the middle when your eyes are on the safety the entire time. This play is absolutely perfect. Besides Troy Aikman drawing all over it, it's perfect. Perfect throw, great movement in the pocket. Perfect throw. And so it's so subtle. Like if you can literally watch a game and not even notice how he moves in the pocket.
Right.
But he is actually very agile, much like Dan Marino was in the pocket, where he wasn't sacked a lot because slide a little to the left, slide a little to the right. And again, just like those ball drills, your eyes are never dropping down on the rush. They're always downfield, not even at linebacker depth, at safety depth. And that's one of the reasons he is so good at this deep ball. In the last 7 games, nobody better at deep ball passes and deep ball touchdowns than Tom Brady at 43 years old. He's working at it.
Yeah. Work ethic, deep ball accuracy, just the part of who he is as a player. So how are his teams successful for this long? Because it's not just all him. It's a football team. It's a team sport. And it's Brady, how he brings up everyone else to be better. The guy's 23 years old, okay? He's like 20 years older than players that he's playing with. So the generational gap, how he's still able to relate to those players. Devin White, linebacker. He's 22 years old, 20 years younger, but you see him in the locker room messing around with him on social media. Why? Because he feels like he has a relationship with him. Tom is up here, of course, but he brings himself down and he brings his teammates to here. And when you feel like that quarterback, the star in the stratosphere of accolades, is on your level and cares about you as a teammate and works with you, that's how the team thing happens. And that's how he's successful for 2 decades, Rex.
Yeah, and going against this guy forever, man. You guys were in that locker room with Tom Brady. From afar, what I saw was, number one, this guy's one of the toughest cats of all time. I don't know if people, we know the preparation, we know the talent, we know all this, but he is so tough. He doesn't get rattled. That's who he is. But, Teddy, great point about how he can relate to the younger player, 20 years younger than him. That's why I said what I said about the Patriots. People want to play with Tom Brady.
They sure
It
do.
wasn't about coming to the Patriots to play for Bill Belichick, even though he's the best coach in the history of the game. It's about playing with Tom Brady. That's who you want to play with. And that's the impact he's had on this football team already, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And in the future, if people are going to line up, they're going to say, I want to go to Tampa. Why? Because I want to play with Tom Brady. And until he retires, that's always going to be the case. And everybody appreciates that work ethic, that passion.
Why does Antonio Brown keep following him?
Yes.
You
How
took the
about
word
Rob
right out of my mouth. He had a retirement.
I was sitting up here listening to you talking about guys following him. Rob Gronkowski, arguably the greatest tight end of our time, retired from the game, but guess why he came back? To play with Tom Brady. Antonio Brown, everything that he's been through, he wanted to come back to the game to play with who? Tom Brady. And them not the only two. I wanted to go up there in 2007 to play with Tom Brady. I studied this man. I know what he stands for, his work ethic. Everything that we just said up here is all the positive things that says about Tom Brady. And, Brew, last point. You're talking about the younger generation of being able to still adapt with Tom Brady or him adapting with them. It's a good thing because you see the game changing and evolving right before our eyes. And Tom Brady is still able to perform at a high level. In our game today, going into the 21st century, man, the sky's the limit for Tom. I don't know how many years he has left. Give me about 5 more, Tom.
And Rex, your point about toughness, I mean, here's a guy that didn't miss a game, okay?
Yeah.
Didn't miss a play, didn't miss one day of practice at 43 years old. I mean, that's incredible. And especially in a year where coaches are saying, hey, you want to take Friday off? Do you want to take Thursday off? Never did. Practiced every single day this year, too. It's really incredible.
There's no doubt he set the tone for this team. The craziest thing to me, though, when you think about it, this guy has started in a Super Bowl.
Traded in the coming days. And the truth of the matter is, this really heated up right after the Detroit Lions traded Matthew Stafford to the Los Angeles Rams. The Bears had been calling on Stafford. The Lions preferred not to deal him in division unless they got a huge package of compensation. The Bears then began calling the Lions. The Colts have been in contact with the Eagles. A lot of talk around Carson Wentz, and it's now at the point where the feeling is he will be traded. It certainly sounds like he doesn't want to be there in Philadelphia anymore. The Eagles are trying to get back the maximum amount they can get back before they hand off their starting job to Jalen Hurts, but the wheels are in motion, the carousel is spinning, and Carson Wentz looks like he is ready to be the next quarterback, Mort, that is traded.
Yeah, and there seems to be a little bit of a surprise, some shock that Carson Wentz is going to be traded. Even after Doug Peterson, their Super Bowl winning coach, was fired on January 11th. Everybody thought, well, that settled it because everybody knew there was a fractured relationship there, a lack of trust. Well, as Jeffrey Lurie, the owner of the Eagles, told people, I think we referred to it earlier in the season, the firing of Doug Peterson was not related to Carson Wentz. It went beyond that. They've hired Nick Sirianni to replace him. And Sirianni and his staff had a meeting this past week, and I had a source tell me that they actually expressed some hope that Wentz would remain there. But Wentz is ready to move on. The Eagles are willing to move on, even if it's reluctantly by some of them. They felt that Wentz's fundamentals broke down behind a decimated offensive line. They saw 2019 when he threw 27 touchdown passes and 7 interceptions. But he got hit in the helmet, you remember, in that playoff game against the Seahawks. That was by Jadeveon Clowney. And that's what really provoked the Eagles to take Jalen Hurts in the second round of the draft, which I think, because of lack of communication, created a mistrust between Wentz and others besides Doug Peterson in that organization. And Sam, I think that's why this is going down, we think, sometime in the next week or so.
Yeah, that's interesting stuff, Mort. You also have to wonder how much they were watching that Matthew Stafford thing, saw how much the Lions got, and thought maybe this might be another option. Look, this has been a roller coaster for Carson Wentz, not just this season. He's dealt with injury. We're talking about this guy as an MVP potentially a couple years ago. Rex, do you think this is the right decision for the Eagles?
No, I don't, Sam. I mean, you just talked about it there. 3 years ago, this guy would have won the MVP had he stayed healthy. And you bring in an offensive guru and a quarterback, guy that did a great job with Justin Herbert with the Chargers. So it's like, man, I was excited to see it. Mort talked about it. I thought his fundamentals were the thing that I was concerned with. Like, you can get that with coaching, you can get that fixed. This guy, a young franchise